If you're making $150,000 or more but feel completely invisible when you apply for jobs, what I'm about to show you could change everything. Our team has helped over 30,000 professionals from companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and JP Morgan get hired for roles that pay $25,000 to $100,000 more than what they were making in less than 120 days. These were accomplished leaders with six-figure track records, but despite their success, they were being ignored the second they hit apply. Some even sent out 500 resumes and got nothing back. Here's what we figured out though. Nothing was wrong with them. It's just that the way they were looking for jobs was broken. And today I'm going to show you how they fixed it and how you can land a role that pays $25,000 to $100,000 more in the next 4 months. Maybe you're stuck with no way to move up. Maybe you've sent over 100 resumes and heard nothing back. Maybe you tried LinkedIn Premium or career coaches, networking events, and you're still invisible, all while losing $25,000 to $100,000 every year by staying underpaid. Here's why. Out of every 100 jobs you apply to, 20 to 40 of them aren't real. Some are already filled, some are posted just to stockpile resumes, and some are fake listings put up to make the company look like it's growing, which means almost half your effort is wasted instantly. I know. And the ones that are real, they get swarmed by 300 to 3,000 applicants. That's why less than 0.5% of cold applications ever turn into a hire. And the biggest problem, 80% of the best, highest paying roles never even hit job boards in the first place. So if you've been ignored, it's not your talent, it's the system. That's why we don't play that game. Because at 150,000 and up, you're not in a job search anymore. You're in a career acquisition. That's why we built the only system that treats your next role like the strategic acquisition it actually is. Instead of hoping someone notices you, we engineer access to decision makers. Instead of being one of 500 faceless resumes, you walk in as one of a handful of serious contenders. Instead of begging for offers, you negotiate like a deal maker and walk away with $25K to $100K more. Here's how it works. Every acquisition, whether it's a $200 million company or your next $200,000 role, comes down to three things. Access. The best deals never hit the open market. They're brokered quietly through insiders. Careers are the same. The best roles move through referrals, trusted recruiters, and direct conversations with decision makers. If you're not in that flow, you're invisible. Positioning. How the market values you. When a company is sold, the price isn't set by the numbers. It's set by the story. The same company can be seen as struggling or as high growth, and that story alone can swing the valuation by millions. You're the same. The way your career is positioned determines whether companies see you as a risky expense or a strategic investment. That's why positioning is everything. Negotiation. Setting the terms of the deal. Negotiation doesn't begin at the offer. It begins long before. It starts the moment someone forms an opinion of you through your resume, your LinkedIn, your first email. By the time you're in the room, the deal is already taking shape. Every interaction either strengthens or weakens your leverage. Control that and you control the outcome. Lose control, and you don't just lose the offer, you disappear from consideration. When you pull all three levers, access, positioning, and negotiation, everything shifts. You stop playing the job seeker game. You start operating like a deal maker. And when that happens, you don't just land more interviews, you acquire the role you actually want. The one that matches your worth, respects your leadership, and pays you what you deserve. That's why we guarantee our clients get hired for a role that matches their value with a $25,000 to $100,000 salary increase in 4 months or less. Book a call below for a strategy session that shows you exactly how we'd do this for your situation. Let me show you how this worked for Michael. Michael was stuck in a toxic company that made him miserable. He woke up with a knot in his stomach that lasted all day long. He'd been looking for a way out for months, but getting nowhere. Instead of having him send more applications, we connected him directly with the hiring managers before he even applied. Michael said, "Without a doubt, the number one thing that gave me a leg up was the outreach done before I even applied. That's what got my foot in the door." He walked into interviews as the person they already wanted to meet, not just another resume. 2 months later, Michael had his offer. 3 months after starting, his boss emailed us to say, "Michael is one of the best hires we have ever made." That's the difference between applying and acquiring. Now, Michael doesn't wake up with that knot in his stomach anymore. He's in a role where he's respected every day and paid so much better. And here's the worst case scenario. Let's say our system only gets you 3 interviews. Only one leads to an offer, and let's assume it's only a $25,000 raise instead of $50,000. Even then, you'd still take home $25,000 more every year. That's $125,000 more over 5 years. And it's not just the money, it's your career trajectory, permanently shifting onto a better track. Our worst case isn't just life-changing income. It's a permanent upgrade in how your career moves from here on out. You might be thinking, well, I've tried career services before and they didn't work. So had a lot of our clients. Here's the difference. Most career services guess. They polish your resume, they give you generic advice, and send you back into job boards. We don't guess. We start by running 3 assessments that show exactly what's wrong with how you're positioned and why companies aren't responding. Then we don't polish your existing resume. We rebuild everything from scratch based on that data. And instead of hoping someone sees your online application, we get you directly in front of decision makers through channels most people don't know exist. You might also be thinking, well, my situation is different. I'm overqualified, or my industry is too specialized. Almost every client starts there, but here's the truth. At $150,000 and up, the core challenges are the same. Being invisible despite being qualified, wasting months or years feeling stuck, and doing everything right with no payoff. Acquisition cuts through all of that because every deal, no matter the industry, comes down to the same 3 levers: access, positioning, negotiation. Your career is no different, and that's what we help you do. So if you're making over $150,000 and you're tired of being ignored despite your track record, this is the moment to stop applying and start acquiring. You'll get a personalized report showing exactly why your current approach isn't working. We'll break down how employers are perceiving you, which roles actually match your value, and the specific gaps blocking you from getting interviews and offers. Whether you work with us or not, you'll know your exact next step. But understand this: every month you wait costs real money. If your next job pays $25,000 more, waiting 3 months costs over $6,000. The bigger cost is lost opportunities. Miss a good role and you wait months for another one to open up. The call with us costs nothing. Staying stuck costs everything. Book now.